Do you feel you're in the dark about the local option tax? So do I. So let's try shedding a little light on the subject and take a closer look. The tax is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're gonna get. Let's open it up and take a closer look. I'll have to admit, it looks pretty appetizing. Who wouldn't want someone else to pay our taxes for us? But when you get right down to it, I think you'll agree with me, the Essex local option tax can leave a bad taste in your mouth. Our select board and the village trustees claim that IBM will be one of the biggest revenue producers under the local option tax. But actually, it's IBM workers who will be paying the tax every time they go to the cafeteria and get something to eat. I don't know about you, but I think my cable TV bill is pretty high as it is. Well, under this tax, I'll be paying more every month. And then again, what about my landline? Yep, that gets more expensive too. And wait a minute, did I tell you about cell phones? Your cell phone bill will be going up too. Compliments of the Essex local option tax. And of course, lumber purchased for new home construction and home renovation, that'll go up too. Compliments of the local option tax. Some folks think all those out-of-staters buying fancy clothes up at the Essex outlets and shops will be paying the tax. But think again, clothes aren't taxed. One of our select board members thinks our friendly neighbors to the north will be paying the tax at the Essex outlet. Well, if they're buying clothes, they won't. Only if they're going to the theater or having a meal. Of course, a lot of our small, locally owned businesses will be hit hard. They'll have increased costs, and so will their customers. By the way, commercial use of electricity is taxed too, so their electrical rates will be going up as a result of the option tax. Some folks say, well, it works for Williston, but there are important differences between Williston and Essex. Let's take a look. First, people come from out of town, out of state, and out of the country to shop at those big box national chain stores. Even with the new Lowe's, there won't be much like that in Essex. And then there's Williston Village. It's awfully pretty, but it doesn't have much of a commercial base, and it doesn't have many of the small, locally owned businesses we have here in Essex. If the corner quick stop is their big village business, Williston's in trouble. Our historic village center here in Essex is a lot different than what you see in Williston. It's filled with a lot of locally owned businesses patronized by local people. They're the ones who will be paying the tax. So let's review what we've learned. Essex residents tend to shop locally, so they'll pay more. And our small businesses will be paying more because of higher electricity costs. IBM workers will pay more to eat in their cafeteria. And then we'll have the privilege of sending some of our tax money to pay for other cities. That's because 30% of our local option tax revenues will be sent to the state, and the state turns around and will send it to help pay the bills in cities like Montpelier. Funny, I never had a chance to have a say on their budget, but Montpelier turned down the local option tax itself a few years ago. Why tax yourself more when others will send you money? Because of the way the select board and the trustees have structured the vote, only those present at town meeting Monday night, March 2nd, will get a chance to vote. Everyone else is frozen out. That's not my idea of democracy. And if you agree, I hope you'll vote for me on Tuesday, March 3rd, Bruce Post for Select Board, and maybe we can finally bring change to Essex.